Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of The Brown by Terrence. You got Levi, you got Rissy, you got Tamara, the homies, the day ones, the ninjas. We in the building. So, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
And what's
Hey,
up?
good.
Oh my God.
So we
Are you okay?
Who, me?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, good.
Oh, Tamara. Y'all, we good. We're trying to do a new thing where we record a bunch of episodes at once, so we can just have a stack for you guys, right? So we starting that off now. So this is what happening. But today we talking about support systems, friends. Do you have them? Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. The ones you can depend on. Do you guys have them? I think I have some good friends, yeah. Do you guys have good friends, Tamara? Tamara, she's a sometimey friend. Levi is a beige behavior friend. And Marissa, I don't know what to, she doesn't qualify for a position.
You?
For real, these three right here, I don't know where I am in the squares, but these three, they're ride or dies for real. They definitely are.
That's right.
You're right. Fix it.
Please put your deuces away, sir.
I got the scar to prove I'm about it.
How important, how important is it? I think for people, I'm gonna say for me, I think it's very important for you to do your best to find at least 2 or 3 people that you can always be able to go to about some real subjects, real topics in your life. Because you're not going to be able to always have that. I'm sorry, you need that to be able to sometimes ground you and get you back on track when you off. Because we can be off. You know what I'm saying? So,
I said you tired.
Yeah.
Tired.
Levi, you keep the timer.
But so, I mean, we were talking, basically, I want to talk about friends because I feel like in this day and age, you really need to make sure you have them. I talk to a lot of people, not a lot of people, I have talked to people who see our joking and see our friendship and they be like, dag, I don't have that. Have y'all encountered that before?
Yeah, I mean, multiple times.
I've encountered that where people, and to me, it's mind-boggling, to be honest with you. I mean, people are going to be close with their family, but I've had family members, not my immediate family members, but I've had other family members tell me, not necessarily be grateful for that, but it's rare to see. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really, I do think it's important to have people outside of your family that you can be able to count on and depend on. I can depend on my family, but I don't always like calling on my family for everything because you want to be able to show your family that you can do what you need to do outside of them. You know what I'm saying? So now, at least for me, I don't know if you guys feel that way or have ever felt that way where you like, I want to be able to do what I can do without always having to call on my mom or my dad, my sister, my brother. And sometimes you can call on your friends and they're there for you. You know what I'm saying? So, and not even just that, just being able to have someone you can have real conversations with, people you can trust your heart with. That's a big thing. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
When you have friends that know what hurt you and never use that against you, that's very rare. And I can say that we all try our best not to get on each other's buttons on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because there have been some situations.
Yeah, we try to tell Terrence he's not stupid or anything like that, so that way he doesn't turn out on all of us.
Please don't use that word with him. Oh,
please,
my God, don't do it.
Are we going to just air out everything? Is that what we're going to do?
This is the podcast.
No, like for real though. I mean, do you guys outside of our friends, outside of this circle, have you guys been able to find? You guys have friends outside of? I'm sure have friends outside of this circle, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to lessen. I shouldn't ask this question. I'm not going to ask that question because I don't mean to lessen anybody else's.
Can you answer the question? It sounds like it's going to be a good one. Go ahead and ask it. Ask it.
Do you feel like that you can trust everybody outside of this circle? I mean, not everybody, but do you have other people outside of this circle that you can trust? I'm sure you do.
I do, yeah.
You mean as far as like that aren't family, that still friends? Or,
right.
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be able to have those friends and make those relationships. How long do you feel it takes to build those relationships? I feel like for the most part, the four of us in this group here, we've known each other for over 20 years. Well, not over, at least 20 years. And so we've gone through the growing pains of friendship, right? I think it's important for people to know that in friendship, you're going to have disagreements, you're going to have fights, but you always have to be able to be grown enough or mature enough to try to come back and mend those mend those disturbed bridges, you know what I'm saying? And try to build a stronger bond. I feel like
I don't think I've ever had a real fight with anybody in here.
Yes, you have.
With who? You?
I know with Terrence, and you've had a mini one with me.
With me?
A real fight though. Like we weren't talking to each other or something. Like that never happened.
No, I don't think.
Okay, so this is what happened, y'all. This is what happened.
Go ahead.
So, because of Levi's past, he had, like told some false truths about certain things, right? And he has displayed that he doesn't like for people to call him a liar because, he has turned a new leaf and he doesn't lie like that anymore. Because the boy used to, okay. All right. So there was this is when we were living together.
Okay.
There was this one instance.
Y'all were roommates.
She about to say something I don't remember.
Oh, right. Let me clarify. Roommates, not like living together as.
Oh, yeah. We were roommates. It was me, your brother, and one of our other friends, Judy.
Right. But in this instance, it was me, you, and my brother. And we were having a conversation. And I called Levi a liar. And he got really hot with me. Like, I'm talking about he got like real saucy. He was like, don't call me that because I don't do that no more. Don't do that. Like he got real. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? At that point, I don't even know if I was like playing with him when I called him a liar or if I like really meant it. It was something that we were talking about. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But like he didn't talk to me for a couple of hours. But of course, after that, it smoothed over because, you can't deny this. So, but,
It is very hard to be mad at my sister. Yes.
Yeah, that was the only thing. But it was.
I don't even remember that. We were all talking on the couch.
Yes, and I
think I might have remember a little bit, but I don't remember the full thing.
And I was on the bench by the window.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so that was it was a little. But you and Terrence have gotten a heated. Y'all got.
I think we got into like some heated debates, but I've never.
Right, it's debates, but I don't think it's ever been. I honestly can't remember a point where
we were just mad at each other.
I'm just mad at this ninja. No, I don't remember that.
No, yeah. I can say the same. I don't think. Now I remember me and Tamara. I don't even know if you remember this, but we were arguing because we were on our way to Bible study. And this one, I was a care partner, and I was like broke, right?
Oh, when she took out that loan.
But no, yeah, that one too. But this one, I was explaining to her, I'm like, Lord, I gotta always work overtime and gotta pick up these extra shifts because it's hard to. At that point, it was really hard to make my money last until I got paid. And like, and at this time, Tamara, she was at home, and I had like my first apartment. So this was all of this very new to me. And then like you telling me like I gotta do this and I gotta like pay 10%? Like what? And
for tithes.
Yeah.
For
And
size,
so I was
yeah.
like, okay, and I was trying to explain to her, like, okay, so after I get that, and then I pay my bills and I grocery shop, I don't have anything unless I work like a lot of hours overtime because I was working 12 hours. She was like, Marissa, that don't make no sense. You just gotta, what are you doing with your money? And I was trying to tell her, no, I don't make a lot. And most of my money really goes to like tithing, my rent, and my bills. And at that time, I had electric, gas, and water. So I was like, it was really bad. And
That's
she was
a
like,
lot.
well, especially it's my first time, and I was making like $12.55 an hour. And she was like, well, you just got to do better with your money, Brissa.
Because
like,
you know what it was?
With your $150 rent. What?
Yes. I had to get that Jane faithfully to my daddy every week.
Yes. And so she was like, and then so I was mad. Like I was steaming in the passenger seat on the way to Bible study. And then like right before we walked into church, because she has this real crazy habit of always wanting to do something to me in front of our apostle. Like she'll smack me in the face in front of him and stuff like that. And then so we were walking into the thing, she was like, now give me a hug because you know you ain't gonna be mad at me. and I laughed, and then that was it. We were fine. And I was like, okay. And I really did try to like, maybe I am spending somewhere, but it really was a struggle then. And so, it was a little one, but not like to the point where I've ever been mad and I don't talk to her for a couple of days and nothing like that. It's never been like that.
No, we've had like those little situations. You made me mad one time and I stepped on the couch. You remember that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, when?
Yeah. That was at the apartment over there on Granby Street. Close to Granby Street.
Yeah,
I stepped on,
Street.
yeah, like something happened and I got mad, so I stepped on the couch. I forgot what it was. It was something. I forgot what it was. But yeah, it'd be little stuff. But this one right here, I don't know where he's at. This one right here.
Who you pointing at?
You. I'm pointing at you. Boy, Jesus.
Yeah.
Terrence, boy. But that's another. But anyway, let's go on with the topic.
What's the Terrence? No, go ahead. Terrence, what?
Terrence, man, it's been several. I mean, where he didn't talk to us, like it was days. Like he didn't talk to us.
Yeah, I'm tired, y'all always think y'all right and I'm wrong. And we was like, did that really just happen?
Tamara and Marissa, whenever we had an argument, Tamara and Marissa would always gang up on me. And so it would always be me against the two of them. And I was always wrong and they were always right. And I wasn't having it. No, but I mean, in the end of it, I honestly don't remember a lot of the whys of the arguments. I do remember some of the the argument over the towel. So this is one time we came back. I forgot where we came back from, and it was late. It was late at night.
We were hanging out.
This little woman here is the armor bearer for the apostle, and that means, for those who don't know, she was basically like she was a care pastor. She was a care partner for the apostle.
Not a care partner.
Not a care partner, but like someone who took care of his needs to help him be able to do what he needs to do for the people. So he won't have to worry about it. She makes sure the little small things are taken care of. Right. Anyway, he has towels, but they were his towels, right? Or were they towels? They were
this
clean
had
towels.
Nothing to do with apostle. This was about cleaning. Remember?
Yeah.
It was about cleaning towels.
Oh, they were cleaning towels. See, I don't remember. But anyway, and that's what even that's probably why my mind was blown. So we get back. I live in the house that's literally right beside the church.
Exactly. Literally.
Right beside. Let me tell my story, please. We live in a house right beside. I live in a house right beside the church, and we get back to the church, And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop Tamara off because her car was parked there. I think that's what happened, right? Your car was parked there. It had to be because it had to be because I was gonna drop. I was driving, I think, or you drive. I don't remember. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. All this stuff happened, but the gist of the story was, Tamara said, take the towels downstairs now. I said, okay, I'll take them down tomorrow. No. She didn't say you going in, but she said, no, take them downstairs now. And I'm like, I'm going to the house to go to sleep because it was late, and I'll take them down tomorrow. And we had this huge argument, and Tamara was like, no, we didn't have a huge argument. Tamara was just like, we didn't have a huge argument. I'm sorry, I'm trying to enunciate. I realize that I mumble a lot. We didn't have a huge argument. Tamara was just like, you know what? I'll just take them. I'll just do it. I'll just do it. And I was like, what's the big deal? Take them down now or tomorrow. I'm gonna take them down when I wake up the next day. Then my mind was blown.
Exactly. And your forgetful mind.
Is that part? And y'all, he's saying the story wrong. I was already at home. And that's why I asked him, because he was literally right beside the church. I was already at home, 45 minutes away. And I asked him, Terrence, can you take these cloths to the church now, because the ladies are going to come early in the morning to clean. I knew he was not going to get up early to have those clothes. Yes, you forgetful.
I'm sorry, Rissa, no one's talking to you.
You're forgetful. So when he was like, just flat out, no, I'm not going to do it. I was like, oh, okay. So
I did not say no, I'm not going to do it. I said I'll do it tomorrow. That's what I said.
And I said, no, can you please do it tonight? Because I know that you'll miss it. Because they were coming very, very early. If it was a regular time, I wouldn't have cared. But they were coming very early. So
I don't think you expressed that to me. I don't think you expressed that to me.
I showed no. Did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, she did.
So
I remember.
I'm sorry, Rissa. Still, no one's talking to you.
Look. You not
me and Rissa had to go back to the church, and we was already.
You see the tag team here, and Levi just lets me sit here on the limb by myself. He don't say nothing. He don't do nothing.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
I mean, I remember the situation.
Be quiet, Levi.
So anyway, me and Rissa had to go all the way back to Suffolk from Virginia Beach to put some doggone towels in the church.
No, they didn't have to come.
Literally right beside the church.
They didn't have to come. They chose
but
to
what
come.
Terrence didn't know, because Terrence didn't clean, was that especially back then when we had the original team, like when we had, they would literally get there very early in the morning.
Yes.
And Terrence is very forgetful. He oversleeps a lot, especially then. And he will, and then when you tell him, oh, I completely forgot. No. So fix your face. So to prevent all of that, because that's how we are as women, do it now. And it wasn't like exactly.
I was extremely tired, and I was going to the bed.
Literally deviate 2 steps. Literally.
I'm sorry, it's not. It wasn't 2 steps.
The thing about it is, though, Terrence is the type of friend, when he wants something done, he expects everybody to adjust.
Thank you.
Thank you. But
that's
when we
laughing, because he knows
we gotta go through hell.
I'm not like that anymore, right? I adjust.
Why we're asking him to do it when he wants us to do something? He expects it right then, quicker than now.
To hop, baby, hop to it, and right now.
How high, Hawkins? That's what he wants. But let us ask him to deviate, and it's always, well, why I gotta do that? It's all these questions as to why he got to do this and why he got to do that. But when he wants us to do it, oh no, that's not.
I don't do that anymore, right? I don't do that. I don't always ask questions every time, do I?
Well, let's
don't answer all at once, guys. You can say yes or no.
Let's get to the top. Levi put a time mark, so we gotta get to the question. I mean, to the topic. But yes, to answer your question, it's very important to have that support system.
Yes, very much.
That's very true. I mean, at the end of the day, like we see, even after we we have those moments in time where it can get to the point where, because Tamara was pissed. I remember her being pissed. I was like, why are you here? I was like, why are you here? I was, and then TJ, because TJ was still here at the time. He was like, why you just didn't why you just didn't put the towels in the thing? I was like, I was going to do it tomorrow. I didn't feel like going over there. I was tired. And
We all were tired.
It was late. It was late. It was like, what, 2 a.m. or something? I was going to that.
That's our normal hangout. Like, that's what we did. I mean,
no, yeah. I mean, that was our normal hangout, but I was tired. And I said, I'm going, because what happens is Tamara doesn't, I'm normally, at the time, I would normally go to their house. And Tamara lived 45 minutes away. So I was driving 45 minutes down a dark road by myself. And by the time I got home, I was tired. I could barely stay awake on the road. And I just was going to the room. And I was like, on the phone, I can remember, I think I was like, Tamara, I'm not going to there. She was like, okay. And she hung up. I think you just hung up. And the next thing I know, Tamara was at the church. And I think I walked over there too. I was like, what are you doing? You can't pick up the towels for me.
Anyway, y'all.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
But
over some
How
towels.
are you even here if you was gonna come over here anyway?
Right, exactly.
Because I'm like,
but to that point, right? I feel like it is good to have like those, like you were saying, those 2 or 3 people, or even that one person who you can bear your, genuine soul to, or if there's a problem, issues, you can go to that person, talk to them. I do feel like time is very important when you're talking about a friendship, right?
absolutely.
Because throughout time, you get to see their good sides, their bad sides, their characteristics, things of that nature. One thing I will say, because, we've had people who have come in our life, we thought that they were going to stick around, right, forever. Like we had that thing where it's like, oh my goodness, like this is bro for life, this is sis for life. And it didn't happen that way because of experiences, situations, what have you. I still value the times that I had with those people, but I feel that people have to be mature enough to be like, yeah, we had a season where we were close, and now it's not like that, and that's okay. Some people remain and some don't. It's okay.
And that's perfectly fine if
It
that's
is.
the case.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's true. I have to get to a point because there were some really, I thought, friends that were, I mean, hey, I might not, to me, I'm the type of person, people don't call me like that. So if people don't call, I don't expect, and not so much, I don't call people like that either. It's just not something that is like on my mind to the point where, I mean, unless I know that you're going through something specifically and it's really bothering you, I'm not going to be blowing your phone up all day. I don't be on the phone like that.
Yeah, or when you see the person and it's not the same anymore, it's okay just to act normal and be okay. It just is what it is. You remember what it was, but you know that you guys are not at that level anymore. But it's cool. It's cool to remain cordial and still have a conversation with that person.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
And I think though, like when that stuff happens, I think it becomes a thing because oftentimes people don't expect that change. You know what I mean? And
True.
you kind of have, in a sense, you kind of have to mourn or grieve that because it's not the same way, because it's still a form of loss. You know what I mean?
That is true.
And,
no, that is true.
So I feel like people don't, it's that part that people don't know how to navigate. And then when they see you with people who you have maintained that relationship with, because God knows, I know that some people that I've encountered look at me and Tam and like, dang, like, it's literally been the same with y'all, and I understand how that looks if I'm not close with that person anymore, or you aren't, and it's like, well, dang, what happened? So there's a lot of stuff to get to that place of acceptance and being okay with it.
But that takes time too.
Especially if nobody did anything to anybody and there's no tension between y'all or no isms or anything like that. So
right.
So y'all have experienced that? Because I don't feel like I've ever experienced that? Are you talking about like, so you run into somebody random and it's like awkward that you haven't seen in a while?
Not really awkward, but like for me, so for example, okay, so like Tamara and I have known each other since we were 13 years old, right?
Mhm.
And so it's people that we went to high school with. A lot
And
of
middle
time,
school.
yeah, and like we were like cool, like because it was every day. There was a group of us every morning that we would all talk to, and we were all close. You know what I'm saying? Like for the most part, overall we were close. And so, and then one of them, she was my friend for a very long time, and then her and I became close when Tamara went to Salem, and then it was like, and then I looked when we were close for a very long time, and then we just fell off. And I thought that she would have been around for a long time. I really did. And it won't like that. And and it's okay, because her and I have talked about it. Like, and she said that she had let the friendship fall by the wayside, but I didn't really see it like that. I just felt like, she was in a different place in her life, and so was I. And she just, and that, and it just happened that way. I never felt any ill will or anything. Because on my end, I felt like it was naturally, it happened that way. But like, it really does take a work, because it takes work to be friends for this long. Because me and Tamara have been friends for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and that, like, literally, I don't even see her as my friend. She's my sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally is my sister. That is family. Okay.
Right.
So
That's
just
right.
like you two, like you two, y'all are my brothers. Like, I don't really see like a separation. You know what I'm saying? And and that's just how it felt. So I think, like I said, people, you just gotta be okay with it. But I think it's just that awkwardness and really recognizing that was a loss, especially if it wasn't intentional on either part.
Yeah, and I will also say, like, sometimes it can be weird for people as well when they think of you only with these friends, right? Like when they think of this group, they think of this, this happening or whatever. Like when you think of Levi, you think of these people. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And then to find out that, hey, that's not the case anymore, that might shock people or whatever, because somebody decided to start acting funny and all this other stuff or whatever. But it is what it is. That's what you have to understand.
Please.
About friendship sometimes, and it happens that way. That
It
people
does.
start acting funny and things of that nature.
Levi, please.
It happens.
I know. I know it does. It does.
No, it does happen. At the end of the day, even for me, I feel like if we're friends, if we're really friends, if we really were friends, like if I did something wrong to offend you, then at the end of the day, even if I didn't know, if I mess up, you at least would have the decency to tell me. I've had people tell me, it's good, we good. And then they wipe their hands. To me, I'm like,
you would think it would be that simple, right? That somebody would just come up to you and just have a whole conversation.
Right.
But given even opportunities to have a conversation, they just won't have it. So,
right. Like, I'm okay, so I messed up. If you feel like I messed up, cool. Let me figure it out with it so I don't do it again. Because honestly, I don't know what I did. And then some people will say, well, if you were my friend, you would know. We all human, baby. We don't none of us are mind readers. None of us are mind readers. And at the time, a lot of stuff that happened, we were young. And but like you said, sometimes you can't make people do what you think is
and it's unfortunate. Because
very
sometimes
unfortunate.
when you look back at it, you think about the times that you guys had, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
What bonded you guys together, you know what I mean? And that's what makes it awkward. You know what I mean? That you look at the person and you know that bond is really not non-existent anymore. But how could it be? You never thought that it would be that way, right? And other people, nobody would have ever expected, right? I think that's just the most awkward. And then it makes it more awkward when you see the person often, or you're around the person or whatever. You know what I mean? It makes it even more awkward.
Well, that's tough. I haven't had to be around anybody who just unequivocally.
I have.
Levi.
I haven't had to be around anybody who unequivocally just was like, we done, we through. And we was tight. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, you have.
No,
Mhm.
well, I mean, I'm talking about unequivocally, like all the time. Like to me,
like, okay, yeah, you're
you
right.
know what I'm saying? Like in my, at work and stuff like that. I mean, one day a week to me, that's not a lot. But
Gotcha.
the but I have been in a situation where I thought I see. Well, I don't want to put anybody's business out, so I won't go too deep because they're not in this circle to defend themselves. So I will say I do. I've had um, situations where I felt that it could have been discussed and the discussion wasn't had. Even the attempts for the discussion was never even allowed. So that's unfortunate. But people wipe their hands of you. That's fine.
That's it.
At the end of the day, I have learned. I told myself, I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not chasing after nobody.
100%.
I'm not chasing after nobody.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm good with the people I got. I'm good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like people are so in the business of, oh, well, I'm done so quickly because, and
Yes.
I think it's unfair because I had recently just went through something where I had found out something and this person felt this way, and I literally had no idea that they felt that way.
Right.
And it had been months passed before I found out, and I was like, what? How was I supposed to know that that's how you felt? You know, like I didn't know. And
Right.
a conversation wasn't had until the opportunity came up for you to just kind of throw it in my face. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that you felt that way. And if I had known, we would have had a conversation about it.
Right.
And why didn't you bring it to me? That doesn't
see,
like
exactly.
why would you hold on to that?
And my thing is this, like, even in those situations where people who are like that, it's like, oh, we should be friends, you should know that. And I'm like, well, I didn't bring issues to you that you should have known about me then. I mean, it could be saying the same thing, where I was going through certain things and you didn't accommodate my feelings. You didn't do this, you didn't do that. But but you don't even know, because to me, at the end of the day, our friendship was stronger than I thought. Our friendship was stronger than me bringing these trivial things to you as if we couldn't fix this, or we can't talk through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you telling me that I didn't give you what you never give me. You know what I'm saying? You don't offer me the same breaks or the same that I continually offer you. And you know what I'm saying?
I think like, oh, if you're my friend, you're supposed to know. I think that line is very blurred. Like, what's it, Bridesmaids, where the two girls were at the girls' bridal party and they were like, oh, we're so close that I can just look at you from across the room and you know what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
And I've experienced that because me and Tamara definitely have done that on multiple occasions. However, like that comes from just knowing certain things that we know about each other. Like, as far as your character goes, but if things are affecting you emotionally, sometimes your friends would know that, but you cannot automatically assume that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some things about
even with that, that takes time. It takes time and time around each other. If you're not spending that, like we had that time where when we were growing up, like not growing up, but when we were younger, like in the early 2010s, we were around each other
all the time.
Maybe like 8 hours out of 24, 9-10 hours out of 24 every day. And we just built your bond, And some people who have had these discussions where I'm your friend, you should know. We weren't around each other like that. So I feel like sometimes people put on their friends unrealistic expectations.
Agreed.
And you have to your expectations have to be realistic, especially if. And see, that's the thing. Like, I'm the type of person. I feel that for the most part, if I'm dealing with something, I'm gonna keep it to myself. If you said something that bothered me, I'm gonna keep it to myself until I know I might explode. And then if I feel like I'm gonna explode, I'm gonna let you know because you're my friend. you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Mhm.
look, you keep saying this to me. It's bothering me, and I don't want to go off. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I am. But I feel like and that's fair. You know, I mean, at least don't just. For me, it's not fair to me to just all of a sudden come to any person that's a friend of mine who did not have a clue that something was bothering me. And it shouldn't be expected of them to just automatically be able to like do. Oh, that's bothering him. Let me stop. No. Especially if you don't show it, oh, I'm cool. But I mean, I've done that. I was like, oh, it's okay. You try to shut it off, but it really does eat at you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so at the end of the day, you had to have those grown moments. You have to have those grown moments where you be able to tell your friends what's really going on with you.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just have a conversation with somebody, you know? You have years of friendship. When you see the person, just have conversations, you know, with
y'all see Levi smiling, it's because he's having a little side comments and he's being funny and he can't keep his smiling. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Levi.
Just like, you know, it doesn't have to be. I feel like a lot of times we get it into our mind or whatever, instead of just having a conversation off of a simple misunderstanding. You know, especially when people come miles to see you and things of that nature.
Levi.
What?
You are really pushing it. You pushing it.
It's easy just to have a conversation. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes that's what's needed. So that way there's not just two of us and there should be three of us, you know, and that's just
a lot of
what
times,
it is.
A lot of that is needed. A lot of times conversation is needed though. Livingston.
No, it is. A conversation is needed. I mean, you have to, as friends, when you're friends, you have to be able to talk about the funny stuff as well as the real stuff, as well as the hard stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's what friends do. You can't be fake around each other. And you can't, if you're my friend, if you ever were my friend, you should at least extend me the courtesy if I bothered you, if I said something wrong, to at least hear me out or at least try to build that bond or bring it back. Now, if you're done with me, then to me, I'm like, if we got to this point where you felt like I didn't never do nothing, but you never said anything to me, I feel to me, I feel like you never really were my friend. Like at the end of the day, I mean,
why would you harbor these things against me and us not like at least hash it out so you can have an opportunity to tell them, no, it wasn't like this. It was this, or whatever the case is. Like we always have to have like a moment where you are able to talk about it, and that comes with any relationship. You got to be ready to have that hard conversation, and sometimes it won't be hard, but you still have to have it.
You do.
You can't just say, "Oh, well, they're supposed to know," and then you go about your business. No,
that's unrealistic. That's very unrealistic.
Yeah,
and unfair.
I think anyway,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tamara.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I think with that, it's a maturity thing. You know what I'm saying? On the individual's part.
No, true.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, back in the day, in your teenager years, the younger 20s, I can see how things can get misconstrued because you're still learning yourself. You're still going through.
True. That's very true.
You know, the levels of becoming an adult, things of that nature. But when you get to a certain age, and I mean, who's to say what's the age of maturity? But I'm just blanketly just saying, like, when you get to a certain age, you're expected to have that type of maturity where it's like, if you did something wrong to me, then I should come to you and say, hey, what you did was wrong. And it made me feel a type of way. Like, let's have a grown woman or grown man conversation so that we can get past it, because our relationship does mean something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the thing. Does it mean something?
It means something. Right. You know what I mean? So I just had to have one of my coworkers, we had this conversation, and I was like, you know, you got a chip on your shoulder. I leave you alone, because at the end of the day, I go home to mine. You know what I'm saying? But it was under a mutual understanding, like, you know, we came together, we talked about it, and now everything is cool, because that's how it should be.
Right.
You know, you talk it out like, dang, I
Right.
thought, this is what it was. And her her outlook on it, I didn't even know, because I was like, that's not how I saw it. So a lot of times it's just different perspectives.
It
of
really
how you
is.
see-
And
It is. Like,
that honestly is
All it takes is a clear
every,
communication.
that.
right. Everything is literally based on everyone how each person sees a thing. And
Exactly.
everybody sees things very differently. Now, of course,
Right.
there are a lot of similarities, and that's what most friendships are built on. Your similarities, your the things that mend you together. But
Right.
just like any relationship, and I think that's where a lot of people do fail to realize, like any relationship, it's not just your romantic relationship that you should fight for. You got to fight for the ones that that's gonna rock you. There's no way that if I knew, like, if Levi had an issue with me, that I would just be like, okay, whatever, that's him. I'm gonna let
Exactly.
Yeah.
brother. I'm
Exactly.
not gonna allow. If you got a problem, then I'm sorry. I'm just remembering one time Tamara was like, "Yo, you got a problem with me?" Sorry, like what I'm saying. Like you gotta have that conversation and deem that person and their friendship is important enough to fight for, so you can mend it. Because 9 times out of 10, it wasn't what you thought, and that it wasn't what that person thought either.
Right.
Yeah, that's very true.
100%.
So on that note, y'all, we're gonna end it. I have a lot more to say, but we can't keep going all night. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. This has been another great episode of the Roundup. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, comment down at the bottom. Put something in there. Let us know what you think. And we will see you guys next time on the Roundup. Y'all have a great evening. Take care. A great day.
Right.
Bye.